hammered. Absolutely hammered. The goals, the celebrations, the total football. The lads feel like champions. They're playing like champions. They're talking like champions. But on top of the league, on every single tree. Which league are we not top of? Tell me, boys. Tell me. Which league are we not on top of? We're playing like champions. We're feeling like champions. These Reds are absolutely boss. Arne Slot has taken the baton from the great Jurgen Klopp, and we're playing like champions. Nottingham Forest keeps getting mentioned every single game by Arne Slot in his presser, wherever you talk about. It's followed up by a contract question, 100%. But he still keeps talking about Nottingham Forest, and we'll go into why Nottingham Forest till today, is very, very important, because it made Arne Slot is still having sleepless nights regarding Nottingham Forest. But we're here to talk about West Ham today. Boys, these lads, how good are they?
I'll let him go first today, man.
Oh, look who's here.
Go on, Gene, go on.
Today's all about waxing lyrical, boys. If I'm telling you to talk, you talk.
All right, look,
5-star Reds today.
let's just get something straight. And
Are we going to get perspective here? Are we going to get context here?
No. One thing very clear to everybody that's watching, to everyone that speaks about football on Twitter, on Instagram, on social media. You can speak about all the clubs in the world. The one team that's better than all of yours is Liverpool. Top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League. 1 defeat this season in September. 4 months almost unbeaten in all competitions. Second string, third string, whoever you put out, this team just knows how to ride and keep on this consistent bunch of form. And today, as Asim so eloquently put it, a hammering to West Ham, an absolute hammering. You could say it was a peppering as well, but West Ham seriously held smoke, and that's the simplest way I can put it. It was a brilliant performance. I know we'll break it down a bit more, but Gene, Asim says we hammered West Ham. You got to think of a better word than that.
Look, honestly, for me, Asim, I came onto this show and I just want to say one thing, Asim.
Well, we've got an hour, so I hope you say more than one thing.
I honestly don't think we actually realize what we're witnessing in front of our eyes right now. What we're witnessing right now is probably the greatest single performance by a footballer in one single season. Because what we are seeing Mohamed Salah do this season, to put up 36, 37 GAs already in December, just shows exactly what we are witnessing. And we will understand all of this towards the end of last season, because I'm telling you, Asim, this is going to be the greatest ever Premier League season by one footballer in the period. Mohamed Salah, as this season, is going to show the world and show everybody else why. Number one, he's the best player in the world. Number two, at the end of the season, he's going to prove to everybody, guys, I am the greatest player to have ever graced the Premier League. He is on a mission. It is a mission to take Liverpool to the number one, to take us to the title. And there is nobody's stopping Mohamed Salah is stopping us and stopping him to deliver this title for Liverpool Football Club. Whether he signs his contract or not, look, that's another question, right? But this season, you can just tell what Mohamed Salah is doing and how much he wants it. Because I'm telling you, Asim, this season, you will not have seen a season by any footballer. Come talk to me in May, boys.
Sarib, 36 GA in 25 games, and we're still in December. Talk to me.
Utter madness. It's genuinely absolute madness. He's already, Asim, in the Premier League alone, has matched his tally for the whole of last season, and it's only December. It's genuine insanity what he's doing on a football pitch. Obviously, again, a lot of people will try to undermine it. We had a few of our Arsenal boys on there, Chelsea fans the other day. But one thing's for certain, regardless of what you think of him aesthetically, he will always deliver you output. And ultimately, output is what wins you matches, and is why he is regarded as the output king, the master, the best player in the Premier League, because those numbers are ridiculous. This is unheard of in the Premier League now. Unheard of. You just don't get players that with this amount of consistency doing this year in, year out, putting up numbers year in, year out. And people say that with age, players regress, and maybe so that is the case, but not with Mohamed Salah. You can see it.
Is this the best version of Mohamed Salah you've seen, Sarib?
No, on the eye, I don't think so. No, I think still that 21-22 first half, Mo Salah was, I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, in terms of his output was not as good as now, but on the eye, along with his output, was unbelievable that first half of the season. Of course, naturally, when you get older, your performances regress. That's every single player. But Salah's numbers, you never lose the ability to put the ball in the net. You never lose the ability to put it on a sixpence for someone else. It just doesn't. That does not go away. And these are what the great players do. Like, even look at Cristiano Ronaldo. You put him in any team in the world, he was going to score goals. He's still doing it. You're going to say it's the Saudi league, but still, to put up those numbers at 39 years old in any league is ridiculous. Lionel Messi is doing the same thing. Suarez is doing the same thing. Great players never lose the ability to finish, and Mo Salah is definitely among those, or not obviously as good as Ronaldo and Messi, but definitely in that category of players that can deliver output year in, year out to a high level.
Yeah, 100%. Let's stick with Salah. We normally we'll stick with Salah, or do you want to talk about? You want to talk more about Salah? Excuse me. Later on, it's your choice today, boys. We can talk about Salah all show if you want. I'm all up for it.
Save the best will last.
Gene, you're on mute.
I got somebody telling me this guy needs to chill out with his Salah love, mate. One thing I will never chill out is my love for Mohamed Salah. I will talk about Salah every single day, mate. No one's stopping me, and no one's stopping me, especially when he's the best player in the world right now, man. Nobody's stopping me. So yeah, we're gonna carry on talking about Salah. I will never ever stop talking about this guy, because this guy is from a different planet. That's how good Mohamed Salah is. He can't be a Liverpool fan. Whoever he is, I ain't stopping, especially right now. We back this player. We'll always back him because he's one of our own, and he's a player that wants to stay at this football club. He's proven his loyalty to us on many occasions, year upon year. When other players might have wanted to leave, this guy wanted to stay, and he still wants to stay. So, guys, I ain't ever stopping talking about Salah. So carry on.
Yeah, 100%. But we will come back to Salah because we'll discuss a few of the goals later on. Team Sarib.
Let me pull it up for you now.
Yeah, thank you very much. There was talk early in the morning and early afternoon about Tsimikas coming in. What did you make of the team? Did it pick itself?
Do you want to go first, Gene, or do you want me to go?
No, you can go.
Does the team pick itself? I think if you look at the lineup I've just displayed here, obviously, look, Alisson, Robbo, Van Dijk, Gomez, Trent, Gravenberch, Mac Allister, Gakpo, Jones, Salah, Diaz. Now, I thought, Asim, he would rotate against Leicester. And then you said to me, I don't think that's going to happen. But I thought he'd do more rotations because the Leicester home game, team that are quite near the bottom of the league. Obviously, going away to West Ham is a bit different. They could still, nick a goal in front of their own fans. Big stadium, bit of a cauldron as well. It's circular. But yeah, I didn't see, if he wasn't going to rotate against Leicester, I didn't think he was going to rotate against West Ham because West Ham are a better team and it's an away game. And obviously, we didn't have much choice. I think Szoboszlai probably would have started this game because obviously Jones played in midweek. Jones played in midweek, so I thought Szoboszlai would come in. Obviously, Szoboszlai was suspended. But other than that, I look around the team. Nunez started against Leicester. The only player that probably didn't start was Diaz, and I think that was fine. I thought Tsimikas would come in, but apart from that, I don't think there was much qualms about the first team.
Gene, talk to me about Luis Diaz. Nunez wasn't great against Leicester.
Yeah.
And we've obviously discussed at length about Luis Diaz in the number 9 position. But again, he showed his intelligence, and he gives Liverpool so many luxuries. And one of the ways to control games is to create overloads, and you have to make sure that player who is the false 9, whichever area that you're trying to create the overloads on, is comfortable in receiving the ball and making little triangles and getting involved in combinations. Luis Diaz is exactly that right now at the moment. The first goal, he gave it to Trent. He was on the right hand side, received the pass from Trent when Salah was offside, came onside in the second phase and did what he needed to do. But just his general play, it gives so many options.
He's a proper footballer, isn't he, Asim? And that's exactly what we need. And whenever he receives the ball, he's good enough to pick up the pockets from the left hand side, right hand side. He has license to roam wherever he sort of wants. There's so much intricate play. He can go on the right hand side. You saw Gakpo play in the middle. When he goes on the left, Gakpo comes in the middle. When he goes on the right, Salah comes in the middle. He just gives so much fluidity to our attacking side of it, and because he has the ability to drop, receive the ball, make these 1-2s with the midfielders and go. The way he received the ball, especially for the first ball from Trent, come inside straight onto the back four, he just gives you something completely different. And look, he is a nightmare. It's actually giving Liverpool so much more ammunition in our forward play, because he's good enough to receive it in the half space, and he's direct enough to go at you at the same time as well, because he's got the dribbling skills. So look, it is a no-brainer for me right now. I think Diaz starts probably over Jota in that 9 right now, because I'm just seeing a lot more fluidity as him, especially when he plays. And I like the way him, Gakpo and Diaz are the interchanging. Yes, Jota's a better finisher, but I just see a lot more football when Diaz starts in our forward line in the 9. But look, it's a good headache to have. Jota came on. I thought Jota's done well every time he's come on since his injury, and he got his goal as well. But we're just seeing 3 players. Well, whoever's playing, all 4 of our forwards scored today, so that can only be an unbelievably good headache for the manager. And look, I'm really happy to see Diaz in the 9 right now.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
Question to you guys, Asim.
Yeah.
Right now, would you start him over Jota in the 9?
You can't. Especially, I think, against low blocks. Some people will want a predator in the box.
Yeah.
Because in certain games, you might just get one chance, and you'd rather that chance fall to Jota than Diaz.
Yeah, of course.
Those sort of games. Sorry?
Yeah, so of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So those sort of games. But to be honest with you, Gene, we haven't seen that game since Nottingham Forest. And what Arne Slot has done, he's made tactical tweaks to make sure Liverpool are very, very fluid. And this is what I really like about him. When I know obviously City are in a crisis at the moment, and Arsenal have their own problems. But in terms of principles, we were all told about this guy's going to have control, and in structures and many different phases of the game. When we're in control, we do have a lot of structure. That's what we are. And, we've been talking about that. That's what he wants. But he also allows so much freedom to his front 4, front 5. If Trent is coming to midfield or overlapping as a conventional fullback, Salah can come inside and receive on the overlap. Diaz, we've just talked about, coming in. And what this fluidity is doing is making sure Liverpool create chances at will, like no other team in world football. Well, I haven't seen him anyway at the moment. And we are going and scoring 6 at Spurs. We're going 6. This was supposed to be a low block, where they went from back 4 to back 5 after half time. But Liverpool was still creating chances at will. And this is what I really like about Liverpool, the fluidity, the combinations. And he's got footballers, technicians who love a tackle in midfield. But for the purists as well, we're playing unbelievable football. And with all due respect, look, I've not seen pure football like this for a long, long time at Liverpool. Again, I repeat, no disrespect to Jurgen Klopp. That was a different style. And some people would, admit, would actually say, look, they preferred that. That's fine. It's on personal choice. But a lot of people were screaming out at the earliest parts of the season saying, we don't like sideways passes. We don't like this boring football. We understand we need to play the Liverpool way, the Jurgen Klopp way, because we were so used to watching what we were watching, in the previous years. But Arne Slot has come and he's won the trust. And I mentioned it in my Substack last week, Gene. I can't remember the last time there was a disgruntled fan in the crowd, even when we're winning, saying, "Back it fucking forward." How many times have you heard that?
Yeah.
Well, you haven't, because this manager now stands there on the touchline with so much assurance, like he's the anchor of everything. He's got his team playing like he wants, but he's also got the crowd with him because they trust him. And even when we go 1-0 down, it's fine. Arnie's gonna sort it out.
Yeah.
Because this team obviously it's playing really well and breathing with confidence at the moment. But just to go back to your question, if we're facing low blocks, Liverpool have got the likes of Salah and Trent And Mac Allister, like we saw today, who can pick a pass from any part of the pitch. And I called it chance magnets. We've got chance magnets all over the pitch, like no other team that's got.
No, you're right, man.
You're going,
Go on, Sarib, go on.
Yeah, look, I definitely agree with what you said about you can't take Diaz out of the number 9 position at the moment, especially the fact that he scored in the last 2 games now as well. Obviously, I think before that maybe it would have been easier to do so because he was on a bit of a goal drought. I think that the goals against Spurs were first goals since September. I think against was it Bournemouth? I think, or it might have been a game after that, but. Talk about a league only. Obviously, he scored against Leverkusen, Brighton, the cups, etc. That's fine. But yeah, I think now it's very hard to take because when a player's in form, I really hate it. That's why one thing I didn't used to like about Jurgen Klopp. He used to do it all the time with especially with Tsimikas. This is a bit different with the attackers. When a player's in form, I never understand why you then go and take that player out of the team to put another player in. It doesn't really make sense to me. Yes, Jota might be a better finisher. Yes, Nunez might be better in the press. But Diaz is scoring goals. So why would you then change it? If something's working perfectly well with Gakpo, Diaz, Salah, the fluidity between the attacking trio that we've deployed the last couple of weeks, why change it? It doesn't make sense. We've got some big wins when those 3 have been playing together. Leverkusen, they started tonight, we scored 5. They started against Spurs, we scored 6. Obviously, you can see now with evidence that when these 3 played together, Liverpool tend to score a load of goals. And as Ali says there, rotate to keep them fresh. And I have no problems with that. We do rotate. Again, Diaz doesn't play in the week. Nunez starts up front. Jota's back. Chiesa started in the cup. We do rotate. It's not that we don't rotate. But when we're playing in the bigger games, I much prefer to play Diaz centrally than Jota at this moment because he's the one in form. Jota will get back into the team. And definitely, if Diaz has an off game or 2, he can't now because now he's got Jota fit and available. He keeps him on his toes, and that obviously improves players.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't.
No, that's fair. I agree with you guys. We have to go with the way we're playing right now. Plus, I just see a lot more football, Asim. Just a lot more football the way we play, and you just simply struggle to pick Diaz up. The opposition simply struggle to pick him up because he's everywhere. The way he goes over from the left-hand side and creates overloads with Gakpo and Salah. And we saw that for the second goal you spoke about. And right now, Asim, when I look at this Liverpool side, you mentioned, there isn't a side in world football as an attacking force playing the way that we play because we, in the past, where I felt as though, you know what, we might struggle against low blocks. We don't struggle at all creating chances, even if it's a low block. Against against Tottenham, yes, look, they play expansive football. They got put to the sword. Today was one of them games where you thought, you know what, maybe low block, it'll be difficult. We should have actually scored 7 or 8 goals today with the amount of chances that we missed. That just proves to you that this Liverpool side, you can play however you want to play. This Liverpool side has got the players and the know-how to break any side down. And you can't ask for any more. And you've got to give Slot a lot of credit. And we don't even look like conceding many. Yes, we might give a few chances here and there to the opposition. But we don't look like a side that's going to concede many goals either. And the clean sheet today helped.
Yeah, 100%. I think asking if you're going to speak on Federico Chiesa. I'll start that comment, Ali, because we'll come to him. Sarib, if you can find Arnie's comments. I saw Josh's tweet, but I didn't read his comments. But the title was Slot on Chiesa. So there are some comments to find in regards to him. Unks is in the building. He says, Assalamu alaikum, people. If there's ever a Mohamed Salah fan, there it is. Our very own Itzar from Luton. We spoke about Mohamed Salah. We'll talk about Mohamed Salah again. I'm sure we will. We always do, Unks, but stick around. Gene Maka, I'll hold my hands up and I'll say I've not, gone to town with him, to coin your term, but I suspected on big pitches that he can get taken advantage of, especially when players like Maddison and Cole Palmer, when we saw him against Chelsea, pull him to the side, and then his lack of legs, especially in transition. But when we're in control of games, there aren't many better than Mac Allister are receiving the ball in different phases of play and picking out his teammate. And today, he was unbelievable, I thought.
He was. And, to be fair, Asim, look, I think a couple of months ago when he had that injury, there was three or four games where, you know, he wasn't at the races. And, you know, there was times where even I said, you know what, maybe a run out of the team. And I'm his biggest fan. I thought, you know what, maybe a couple of games out of the team, you know, will suit him and get him going again. For the last month, the guy's been scintillating. Every single time he's played. The thing with Maka is, Asim, is he's a winner and he's quality. You can't take a guy that possesses his type of quality, because if there's one midfielder of ours that can look up and pick a pass, it's him. He has that dink ball. He had that through ball today that he played to Salah, which was an unbelievable, the way he came inside and managed to play that ball first time. Look, he's an unbelievable.
I have to put it up. Ash is a super chat, not a super chat. What do you call him? A member?
Member.
Yeah, he's a member. I have to put it up, Ash.
You don't do that around here.
Carry on.
But look, Maka again, you know, especially for the last month, we're seeing the old Maka that we saw last season. He's just an unbelievable footballer. Right now, he's playing the football that we want to see him play. And to be fair, him, Jones, and
Graven.
And Grav, I thought all three of them were very good. Even Endo, when he came on, every single player I think that's coming in to play for this Liverpool team right now, they're playing at the peak of their powers. And Maka, he's one of them that I will always defend, even when he's having not the best of, not one of his best games. Because the thing with Maka is he's a winner and he's quality. And that's what he gives you. He gives you, number one, he gives you that strength. He doesn't buckle down in any sort of tackle or any sort of challenge. He's one of them that will say, bring it on. I'm one of them. I've got the cojones. I'm Argentinian. And we saw that in the World Cup. He's one of them that has the grit and the tenacity to carry this team as well. And look, I thought today he was fantastic. It was, for me, him, Salah, and I thought Gakpo was fantastic. Look, there were so many players that were brilliant today, but look, fair play, man. He was definitely one of his best games.
Well, Sarib, our midfield, I think Gravenberg, obviously, he took him off today. He protected him. He's played a lot of minutes. He's going to be your midfielder at the base of the pivot. But then those next two, I think obviously Mac Allister gets in. Slot's already talked about him in the early of the season, but it's three places, but four players who are playing at right top of their game at the moment. And just like our attack, the squad, a championship winning squad, needs to, one, push each other, and two, provide competition. And this is what our midfield is proving to be at the moment. Four lads who are unbelievable. And then you can talk about Endo's cameo performance when he needs a bit of a dueler in midfield just to sort of ease the game out and give the rest of the lads a support. Arnie's got and managing every single thing. He has not put a foot wrong since he came through the doors at Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's the right balance between experience and pure ability. I think Grav possesses both of those. But I think Mac Allister's got the experience. Obviously, that World Cup win has helped him a couple of years in the Premier League, starting week in, week out for Liverpool. Obviously, Gravenberch is a bit younger. He's not really experienced the Premier League to a high level at this moment. And you obviously got Curtis Jones, who has he's a scouser. He knows what it means to play for this football club. I think all three of them possess quality on the ball. All three of them possess the nous, or all three of them have showcased their abilities. And obviously Szoboszlai not even included. I think he's a different discussion, but let's stick to the three that played. I think those three this season have taken their games to another level. I think Maka's not been at his scintillating best as he was last season, but obviously I think that's the game state and the way we played was a bit different last season. We progressed a lot through the midfield, and I think Arne Slot prefers to progress a lot more with Ryan Gravenberch than Maka. But you can see on this map, 11 successful progressive passes from Maka, 10 recoveries, and he won 3 out of 4 tackles today. Like, that was, you know what, he reminds me a lot. It's not Thiago, but it's like Gundogan and Thiago mixed. Like, he's got the tenacity to win the ball back. He's really, really good on the ball, and he can pop up with a goal. Can play deeper, can play in further areas. Is very, very similar profile, I think, between him and Ilkay Gundogan. But Mac Allister today, I thought, was exceptional. First half, second half, he was getting everywhere. He was getting stuck into challenges, and I think this map from Opta showcases that in the best way.
Well, 10 recoveries as well, sorry. But what?
10 recoveries as well. Yeah.
You can't buy that. He's an unbelievable footballer. Technical, is very, very effective as well. One of the best around. He's got a pass. He's so many passes today, as that graphic shows. But you can't buy that tenacity. He's always he might not be the biggest, but he's never backing out of a challenge. You can't buy that. That's that South American, grit and winning mentality as well. He's won the World Cup. He knows how it is to win a tournament or a big trophy. So I think that'll carry and help the squad, especially the younger players as well. And this is what another factor for Liverpool is. They've got big winners in this team who have done it before. The likes of Van Dijk, the likes of Salah, the likes of Trent and Robo. Because things you think hopefully Liverpool play like this all the way throughout the season, but you think they might have a little slump. But if they do, then the experience. Okay. I probably agree with you, Chin. I think the only thing that can affect Liverpool now is some crazy injuries.
Yeah, and I was watching Mark Goldbridge before I came on. He said he tweeted as well earlier. He said, if you don't think the league title was done or the title race is done, you're a prat. And I watched this video, and I think he said the only way Liverpool capitulate is if they have a drastic injury. The only way you can possibly think is they have an injury to Van Dijk or an injury to Salah. He even said I don't think Salah would be as bad as Virgil van Dijk, because I still think they have Gakpo, Jota, Nunez, Chiesa, and Diaz that can contribute with goals as a collective. And obviously, you can say the other side where Salah contributes heavily in Liverpool's goals, 85% or whatever it was last time we saw 8%. But you lose Virgil van Dijk, he's the best in his position. I'm not saying Salah's not, but we can get away with it because I think we have more in attack than we have more in defense. I think the drop off from Salah to Diaz, Gakpo, Nunez is not as big as the drop off between Van Dijk and Kwanzaa and Gomez is what I mean. And I think if we want to win the league, Salah and Van Dijk cannot get injured. If something happens to those two, we're in trouble. But I agree with Asim, Gene. I know you might disagree. I do think there will be a drop off, and some might say that drop off happened against Newcastle and Fulham. But I think it will happen as more games.
I just think Konate coming back, boy. I'm not being. I mean, I've watched this Liverpool side, Asim, with Konate coming back into this team, and hopefully he'll be back. Well, maybe just after the United game. I can't see us dropping. We're only gonna get. I'm telling you, we're only gonna get better. We're gonna go on after Konate's back. We're going on another mad one. Mad one in terms of a run. In terms of a run.
But Gene, I tweeted earlier saying support this unbelievable coach and give him a centre back in January. Because my concern is, look, I hope Ibu stays fit, but I'm only going by his track record.
Yeah, I can accept that.
I think Ibu will pick up another injury.
Yeah, I can accept that.
And there's a question mark against Thingy. Let's be honest, he doesn't fancy Kwanzaa. He just doesn't. So you have to. We didn't replace Matip. We have to buy a centre back. We shouldn't leave the situation to chance. And that is the area needed addressing in the summer, and even more so now. So I'm not expecting Liverpool to, or I don't want Liverpool to buy a 70-80 million pound player. If you have to fast track a signing and maybe pay £5-6 million more, or I don't know, they're really good at structuring deals. FSG, I'm sure they can sort something out. I know we probably got bigger priorities in these 3 contracts as well, but that doesn't mean that they haven't shortlisted the centre back for the summer, or a couple of centre backs that one will do. A 30-40 million pound player just to come in and shore up that defense. Because let's be honest, there'll be more rumors about Joe Gomez's future in the summer again if he wants first team football and stuff like that. So we have to give this manager support. We should have replaced Matip. I think a lot of fans said when once he started playing Gravenberch in the midfield, or as a 6, then the priority was a bigger priority in the defensive area. And I saw that argument, especially maybe at left back or / centre back. But I think it's imperative we bring someone in now. We can't leave it to chance, as I say. We have to nail this title, charge that we're on. And why leave it to, Kwanzaa's inexperience at the moment and lack of confidence, lack of form, and Ibu's fitness. If Ibu stays fit, we can win the lot. But we have to go by his record. And generally speaking, when he comes up, it takes a couple of games for him just to get the rhythm again. We've got some super chats, lads. That's the first one. Zia, thank you very much for your super chat, bro. Diaz, forget opposition losing him. I was struggling to keep my eyes on him as a viewer. Also, Slot lets his midfielders be ballers, not just runners and pressers. It's exactly that, isn't it? We were talking about, Sarib, where he gains control with his technicians in midfield. Their structure, the left back is not running up and down like a headless chicken up that flank in Robo. He's part of a 3 all the time. There's a double base, a very, very a good foundation in midfield. And then once we play out the press, like Zia says, he lets his midfielders be ballers. And when you've got the quality of Mac Allister and Curtis Jones who can feed it into like the likes of Salah, then anything is possible, isn't it?
And the one thing I do like about this comment as well, he says Slots also let his midfielders be ballers, not just runners and pressers, because I think that's the adaptation from last season, that we still press. Don't get me, we still press very, very well in transition because we have the players to do that. Our attackers are, getting behind kind of players. They all want to run onto the ball. Obviously, Gakpo's ball to feet, but Diaz, Salah, I think you put the ball in behind them, their pace will get them in on goal. But as you mentioned, one thing I've noticed this season, I watch it during the game. I like to see, Gravenberch and Mac Allister is a very, very functional pivot. And I'll tell you why. Because I like to see some games, he likes to put Maka a bit more forward, depending on the game state, depending on the opposition. Like against Real Madrid, he pushed Mac Allister a lot more forward than Gravenberch. Then at Old Trafford, it was a very, very different. Today, I thought Maka was a bit deeper than Gravenberch. Gravenberch was the one that was going a bit more forward. Like I love to see that because it's not a sitting together kind of pivot. It depends on the opposition we play. One goes forward, and I like that because they both can sit, but they both can go when needed, depending on the opposition. And I think that functionality between those two allows Liverpool to play in many, many different ways.
100%. Let's go to the next super chat. It's our very own Ash. Thank you very much, bro. In my opinion, we win the league with 0 signings. As Slot will find a way. We're on the edge of greatness here. A centre-back, a centre midfield in January, and we're talking about multiple trophy season. Hughes, do your job. Help Slot out. Gene, he wants 2 signings.
Look, if I'm honest, Asim, they should go out and give Slot what he wants, man. We are, and I agree with him. This Liverpool side right now, the way we're playing, and you look at the opposition, the opposition that we're up against, we could go and win a few trophies now. And if the trophies are there to be won, we're in the semi-final of one of the cups, flying in the Champions League, top of the Premier League. So there's chances to win multiple trophies. And if it means us going into the market and really solidifying us, this football team, then we should go all out. Because the biggest issue that I had in previous years is when we were at the top, when we felt as though we were like, you know what, we're the best team in Europe at that time, whatever. We never really went and give the Klopp the tools and said, okay, here's a couple more players, really, really go for it again. We're finally, we're at the sort of stage now where we can really go for it again. But we cannot be held back. You cannot hold Slot back. Slot's done an unbelievable job as right now. An unbelievable job to be able to take us where we were to where we are right now. All he needs is now to say, okay, back me now. Let me bring in a couple of players. Because look, we all know there's players in this team that Slot isn't really fancying, right? In the maybe an attacker, definitely in the midfield with Endo. Then you've got the issue with the defense. So there's 3 positions where we could definitely he really wants to strengthen. So give him the tools, give him what he wants, so we can actually go and say, you know what, let's go for it, man. Let's go for every single thing that's out there because this team is good enough from what we've seen that, you know what, we're good enough to go and win the big 2. So why not? We're there. Go for it.
But boys, we know how the cookie crumbles with our football club. Like it's a vague way of looking at it. But then, obviously, FSG are not going to be at the football club week in, week out. It's going to be Hughes, and Richard Hughes was actually here. He was actually at the game today. They put it on Sky as well. But like, can't you make us? I don't agree with this. But can somebody on the other side make a claim that why do we need players when we're top of the league, top of the Champions League, we're winning every game? And the thing is, they only like to act, our board especially, only like to act when we're in desperate need. Like we were when Fabinho, Henderson, Milner won their last legs. We knew we needed a midfielder the year before that. Maybe that was down to Jurgen Klopp. Maybe that was down to the board, whatever it was. But could they make a claim, that Liverpool are top of the league, Liverpool are top of the Champions League? We gave you one of the best managers on the market. Why do we need players? When
it doesn't work like that.
No, I know, but that's how they're going to look at it.
You'll hear it though.
But that's how they're going to look at it.
Yeah, then you were just living in cloud cuckoo and then just prepare. This is the biggest issue that we've got. Yeah, we're sat with 3 of our best players that haven't signed contracts, mate. Who's that on? That's on your lot's head, isn't it? That's on the owner's head, whoever else, Hughes, owners, Edwards, whoever you want to call it. It's on their head. It doesn't work like that. Look, they have to support the manager. You have to support the manager, give him what he needs, give him the tools. He's done an unbelievable job. Look, I give them a lot of credit for bringing in Jurgen Klopp and bringing in Slot for the job that he's done as of right now. But come on, man, you have to be able to say, okay, this team is close to doing something unbelievable. Let's go and give them the tools to really go and hit the heights that we might be able to hit in his first season, because it's there for the taking. Go and take it, and I just hope and pray that they see it like that.
A few things are there for the taking. Sarib, Trent had his moment today. There's been a lot of noise in regards to Trent and his contract. We were live, I think, yesterday or the day before when news broke about his contract situation. Which side of the fence are you on after seeing what he did today, after his goal? I mean, was it a message to the fans saying, shut the hell up? Or was it a message to all the Madrid propaganda saying, shut up, I'm going to stay here?
Look, I want to be very, very clear about something. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold leaves Liverpool at the end of the season. I will stand by that. I changed my mind in about the same time after October. I was optimistic all three would extend in the summer, but obviously that drifted away from me. I still think Salah and Virgil will extend, and Trent could happily extend, and I don't think that's out of the question. Let's make that very, very clear. Just because I think that doesn't mean it can't happen. What I will say, though, is Trent Alexander-Arnold, in every interview that he's deployed about his contract situation, about his future at Liverpool, he has made one thing very, very adamantly clear. He has said, my contract situation, just like all my previous other contract stuff, will never be played out in the media. It just will not happen. So when Marca or Marca, the top Real Madrid Spanish newspaper, is coming out and say Trent is asked to leave Liverpool, he has said many, many times in interviews that his contract situation will not be played out in public. So I don't choose to believe that. And Fabrizio Romano, probably the most reliable journalist out there, has stated many, many times that Trent and Liverpool are still in positive talks about contract situation, still trying to find a common ground. Now, if Trent Alexander-Arnold really, really wanted to leave Liverpool Football Club, why would he even be talking to us about a contract extension? That's my kind of take on it. But in hindsight, in looking at the other side of the spectrum, is that if Trent Alexander-Arnold really wanted to stay at this football club, why would he just not shut down all the rumors saying, I want to stay? There's two ways of looking at this. I don't know.
Because there's no guarantee. I think someone put the Slots quotation up. There it is.
Yeah.
The way he celebrated his goal should tell you enough.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair way of looking at it. He said, I'm looking at it more so as the fact that he said many, many times that his contract situation is never going to be played out in public. So all of the stuff you're hearing is all basically bullshit news, propaganda from Real Madrid. They do this to every player. Every player they want to sign, they were doing it with Mbappe for many, many years. They did it with...
They usually do end up there, though.
No, yeah, of course. And that's why I think he's going to go. Because when there's noise, when Real Madrid come calling as well, and obviously Jude's probably been in his ear as well, I think it looks a formality that he's going to sign for Real Madrid. And it's a shame, because I think the notion about him as a football player amongst Liverpool fans will change massively, and I don't agree with that. And I'll tell you why. Because he has given a lot to this football club. I think the reason why Liverpool fans will turn on Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, is because he's leaving on a free transfer. And they spoke about this on Sky last week as well. That's the only thing. But I think if he wants to go, new challenge, you can't knock him. He's won everything at Liverpool. But they also said, why would you want to leave Liverpool? Every year we're competing for the Premier League. Every year we're competing for the Champions League. We're winning trophies. Why would you want to leave? Why? We're providing you with everything. So the only other way of looking at it is that he wants a new challenge, because I don't think it's about money for Trent. I think he said that, he's made that very, very clear in all the interviews. He wants to be regarded as the best right back to ever play the game. He wants to win the Ballon d'Or. And if you're speaking properly, players that play for Real Madrid or Barcelona normally win those kind of awards, bar Rodri and a few others in the last couple of years. But it's normally Modric, Ronaldo, Messi. They're all Barcelona and Real Madrid players. So I don't think it's ego.
Another Arne Slot quotation on Trent, when asked about the noise on the contracts, not on the inside, but on the outside, it does, because people always talk about it and the other players as well. Because in January, you can make a transfer. Who was the message to, Acheen?
Look, I'll be honest with you, Asim. When I heard Slot say, spoke about the celebration, I thought, okay, maybe there's a slight chance he will sign a contract. And that's me, because me, coming out and saying that. So
You
look,
fall for anything. You fall for anything.
I want to fall for it, although I want to. But look, let's face it, I'm still in the camp that he leaves. I'm not gonna just fall for it.
So
Just
do
like
you
that,
think
what
that
it's gonna
message
go.
was to the fans saying, cut the bullshit out?
Yeah, cut the bullshit out and just and I do believe that. Asim. I just think, look, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I just can't see why.
Here we are. Why are we bothering talking about anything? Here we are. Breaking news.
Oh yeah,
So
our in the
let's pack up and go
in
home.
the house ITK.
There was another super chat actually. Sean, thank you very much for your super chat.
Oh, here goes another. Is he another ITK?
ITN. What does ITN mean? Is that
No.
the ITN news?
In the know.
In the know.
Oh, in the know, maybe.
I think
in the know is ITK.
I think you meant to
Okay.
write K. I think you meant to write K.
Okay, ITK. Darwin is already in Italy. The family are just looking for nursery schools. My cousin traveling back tonight. Don't believe me. I think
All right,
Sean's,
maybe.
I think Sean's had one too many.
To be fair, I'm not going to take that as face value, but there has been little links with AC Milan I've seen on
Yeah,
the
they have.
timeline a bit. So maybe that might be true. Obviously, I don't know who you are, Sean, unfortunately. But,
They are says I think the general consensus is that Trent will stay. I think it's the opposite.
yeah, I think it's the opposite too.
Most people think it's 2 out of 3. But that's if you talk to a lot of locals as well, even when you see a lot of locals, Liverpool fans on social media platforms, they're just basically gone for him.
They're gonna go for him. I think. Look, I'll be honest with you. I went to town on Trent the other day.
I think we're going a bit too early, Gene.
Yeah, I agree.
We have to.
You had a go at me about that last week as well, Gene.
Listen to me. Look, my issue is Asim. So when do we want to go for him? When do you want to go for him? When in January when he signed? When do you want to go for? No, I'm asking you two questions.
Unless it's
we're going to one second. We're early. You're saying we're going too early. So when do you think it's best for us to say, Trent, what the F are you playing at? When he signed, when he can talk to another club in 2 days.
Yeah, but that's not down to him, Gene. That's not his fault.
My dad's fault.
No, what?
Whose fault is it then? Yeah, they offered him a contract.
Leave your dad alone.
They've offered him 250, 300 grand a week. Listen, if the murmurs are that he wants 350 grand a week, come on, man. You should 250, 275 grand a week for Trent. What more does he want? Sign the contract. He doesn't. It's not about money. He wants out, boys. It's not about money. So what do you want to do?
I think unless it's official that he says, I want to leave the football club, can't go for him.
Yeah, you're not going to go for him until when he signs. They're going to say, yeah, it's gone now. And then what are you going to do?
Yeah, because this is all perspective.
Oh, I don't know, man.
This is all opinion. This is all opinion.
Man.
I don't agree with how it's going, but I think it's very unfair to have a go at a player that's probably making the biggest decision of his career. This is one of the biggest decisions for a player. A career in football is very, very short, Gene. 15 years. Some players don't even get that. And he's
you're okay for him to leave?
I'm not okay with him going to leave, but I understand if he wants to leave.
I don't.
100% understand. I will not. If Trent Alexander-Arnold leaves Liverpool in the summer, I will not go for him because
you don't go for him.
I won't, because why would you? Why would you?
I would.
He's going to Real Madrid. He's not going to Man City.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Why?
Don't talk shit and don't say that, this means more. This is this and this is that. Oh, I want to become a captain of Liverpool Football Club and all the bullshit palaver that he's come out with over the last year regarding this football club. You've got your chance. We're going to win. We're going for a title. We're one of the best clubs in the world right now. Yeah, people make it. Oh, what's he doesn't owe us anything. What do you mean he doesn't owe us anything? We've nurtured.
You have a go at him, then you can't have a go. If he's saying I want to be the captain of this football club, we have to take that then as face value. We can't take anything else.
So then, how can you say to me then you're all right? You're okay for him. Then you can't have a go at him for leaving when he's come up with all of this. It's gonna piss us off, isn't it? It's gonna piss. I get why all the Scousers are open arms.
I get it, but I wouldn't, because like I said, Gene, football is a short career. Players' opinions change very, very quickly. They change.
Of course, I'm not saying that they don't change.
At one point, Steven Gerrard wanted to leave Liverpool,
but he didn't.
Exactly.
He showed loyalty. What did he
That's
show?
why-
He showed loyalty. That's
that is
why he's
why-
regarded this is why we regard Steven Gerrard as one of the greatest ever players to have played for this football club.
Exactly why I'm saying
Trent
you can't-
Alexander-Arnold. Yes, look, if he wants to go, he can go. But he's going to tarnish his reputation at
That's what I'm
Liverpool
saying.
Football Club, his
Then why-
legacy at Liverpool Football Club. He could have been seen as one of the greats to have ever have played the game at Liverpool because that's how good he was.
What
But
I'm
and
saying-
he wants to go. Okay, TK, let him go. But another thing is, listen to me. He had once say what you want. There are other players that have played for bigger clubs, big clubs like Ronaldo. What did they do? They stayed when they helped their club out. Alexis Mac Allister, when he was at Brighton, he could have gone on a free. But what did he do? He thought, you know what? I owe this football club something. When I came, I don't want to leave on the floor. He signed a contract, stayed another 6 months, and you know what? Got Brighton the fee. Yeah, Ronaldo, what did you do when he's at Man United? He wanted to go the year before, but you know what? He knew. He goes, you know what? I owe Ferguson because Ferguson bought me at this football club when I was a young boy, and you know what? He made me the player I am today. What did he do? He signed it, stayed another year, got United, top money for him. £80 million at that time, world record fee. With respect, Trent Alexander-Arnold should have done something of the sort. Signed a small contract. Said, you know what? Okay, let me play for another year. Sign another contract. Get Liverpool the fee. And if I want out, okay, at least Liverpool will get the fee. How many players have done that in the past? There's so many. That's loyalty to your club.
In this situation, you can't win because if he signs a new contract and he leaves, fans are still gonna have a go at him saying,
"No, they're not. We will accept him. We will accept. I'm telling you."
Let him speak. Let him speak.
I'll tell you why. This is a lose-lose situation. If he leaves on a free, they're gonna let me learn. They're gonna say, "Oh, he's a scouser. He's left on a free transfer. What a snake!" That's what they're gonna say. If he signs a new contract, they're not gonna have a go at Trent. They're gonna have a go at Liverpool for letting a player that signed a new contract leave the football club, no matter the fee we get from him.
No, I completely disagree.
Trent leaves, people are
no,
still
that's wrong.
That's what I think.
Okay. The people are in the comments. If I said to all the people in the comments right now, if Trent Alexander-Arnold signs a contract and says, okay, signs a contract today for another year and said to Liverpool fans, you guys, I want to go to Madrid, but I will sign a contract. I'll make sure that you guys get 60 million quid. Will you accept it? I guarantee you every single Liverpool fan say, you know what? You've given us enough time. You've given us 7 or 8 years. Okay, if you want to go, you've given us money to at least we can go and buy a player as well. Fine, you can leave. Then accept it because he's given us time.
I think they'll sign up for that, Sarib.
That's only.
Of course they will.
But that's only if he comes out and says that. That's only if he comes out and says that, which is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, though, is it?
That's not going to happen. So that's what I'm saying, Gene. He's not going to.
It's not going to happen because that's on him, then, isn't it?
No, he's not going to come. No, that's every
It's
player.
selfish then on his. Then it's selfish on his part.
Why is him coming out in public to tell you that? Why is it important?
Because fans are fickle. We believe what players say.
So I don't know what Salah's
yeah, that's fine, but that's fine. But what is the end game here? That's what it boils down to. If he leaves for free on Madrid, then we know why he was silent.
Exactly. That's why I said you can't have a go at him until he leaves. That's what I'm saying. You can't stick it on unless he goes to Real Madrid. It's very different. You're having a go at Trent now.
I'm saying to him, if he wants to leave, right? Obviously, we don't know as of right now, Sarib. I think I know that. Everybody knows that. But we're talking in hypotheticals, aren't we? Come on, you know. So we might as well stop talking fucking football then and start talking about these contracts because we don't know what's going to happen. Why are we having shows about contracts? Because we don't know what's going to happen. Start talking about it.
But Sarib, you have to accept the signs.
I don't understand what you're on about. Exactly, the signs are there in front of you, man.
That's why I said I think he's going to leave. I've stood
so
by
if
that.
If you think
he thinks he's going to leave,
if you look,
he's shouting for no reason. I don't know why he's shouting.
No, you're saying he's going to leave, but he's saying don't say anything because we don't know what's going to happen. Is that what he's saying?
No, what you're saying is, Gene, if Trent Alexander-Arnold signs, we went completely off topic here. You said, I want Trent Alexander-Arnold, if he wants to leave Liverpool, to sign a 1-year contract and say to the fans, I want to leave Real Madrid, but I'll sign a 1-year extension. But what I said to you is that's not going to happen even if he signs a 1-year deal. So it doesn't, this conversation is irrelevant.
He's giving his buddy a shit first and he'll give you shit after.
Right.
But look, Sarib, look, I need to take back what I said. I can understand why he's getting a lot of abuse. No, a lot of criticism. But I don't agree with people calling him a rat and this and that. So when I said, people are going early with it, I think that's what I should have clarified that.
Yeah.
You can't, accuse people of not giving him criticism because one, they've not heard anything. Salah and Van Dijk have been not really open, but at least they've given us something in public, and all the narrative, whether it's through journalists or their camp or themselves as well, is they really want to stay. Obviously, Salah mentioned it today that they're far apart in valuation or whatever they're discussing at the moment. But the main thing is he wants to stay. But the messages and the narrative and the feeling is that Trent wants to leave, and we've got nothing to think that he wants to extend his contract.
But all the journalists, like I said to you before, Fabrizio Romano came out and said Liverpool and Trent are still talking about a contract situation at Liverpool.
True, but they also said, and that was quite really important to me and telling. Yesterday was the first time the likes of Lewis Steele, the likes of I think he did a combined piece with his the other guy, I can't remember, Dominic King maybe. But anyway, there's a few journalists who for the first time said Real Madrid are increasingly confident.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the first time they said that, Sarib.
True, and that's why I think he's going to leave, because I've had this feeling for a while. But you have to look at the pan with both sides. You have to look at both sides of the pan. On one side, you have Trent Alexander-Arnold increasingly confident to join Real Madrid, which we all think that's going to happen. But then you got the other side when Trent's doing all of this. You got he's doing all this to the fans after he scored today, and he's in contract talks with Liverpool. So it's just depending on what side you want to believe. Now, I said a couple of weeks ago that I think Trent's head looks like he's already in Madrid based on his performance. Then Gene had a go at me for saying that's not the case.
That was me. That was in terms of his professionalism. I will not question his professionalism to Liverpool until he's a player at Liverpool. He's not going to completely stop playing football because his head's in somewhere else. I don't buy that.
Do you think
I don't buy that.
Do you think the way he's acted in the media has been professional? Because I don't think so.
How was he? What do you?
That is professional.
He hasn't said a word.
Doing interviews every single week. Like you said, if a player wanted to stay at Liverpool, I think they should just come out and say they want to stay, like Mo Salah did it.
But you have to
hands for him.
But
that's not going to happen with Trent, because it looks increasingly likely that he's going to leave the football club. If he's not coming out and saying,
he's never like you. But you just mentioned he's always said that I don't want to I don't want to have my contract played out in public, and that's what he's doing. He's not playing out his contract in public. Even if he wants to leave, that is, he probably still doesn't want to play out his contract in public. But that's not for you to, for me to anybody to say that, you know what, Trent Alexander's head's in Madrid and he's not going to perform. Of course he's going to perform every single time. He's played. He's having really good performances. That's when I went to you saying in terms of when you said his head's in Madrid. I don't believe that. I don't believe his head is in Madrid. He might want to go, but his head's not already there. Some people came up with flipping tweets saying, "Oh, it's 1.5 foot of it is in Madrid already." Nah, man. He's still a professional.
The reason why I think that's a lazy take is because they were judging it on 45 minutes. And I said, look, he's not fully fit yet. He's not fully fit yet. But the main reason why I think he's not, throwing his toys out of the pram on the football pitch is because we know Arne Slot by now. We've known him well enough, even in this 25 odd games, that if he sees an ounce of complacency, he won't pick you.
Yeah,
he won't pick you. So I think it wasn't just a disrespect towards Trent. I think it was disrespect towards his manager and coach that we have, that he won't put up with it. If he thinks your head is elsewhere, he'll play someone else. Simple as. So I think there's a long way to go. We'll keep on talking about Trent, I'm sure.
Wait, what do you think? If he wanted to stay, he'd come out and say he wants to stay?
I would have liked a bit more. I would have liked a bit more through his representatives or through the media, but you have to respect the fact that he did say, "Look, all my previous contracts with Liverpool have been in private, and that's what they'll continue to do so." So you have to respect that, and that's not unprofessionalism. That's actually being professional.
But then when a player's coming out saying, "I want to be the captain of this football club," that's obviously to do with his situation at the club as well.
No, because those weren't in relation to his contract. Those were just general interviews.
Yeah, but that's going to be taken into account with what's happening now. That's going to happen.
You were discussing the fact that the cop can actually be singing his song about the Scouser in our team. This means more. I want to be captain. This actually gives us signs that he wants to stay at the club. But now those were in the previous years. When once Real Madrid actually come for you and put an offer on the table and you see 30, 40, 50 million pounds signing on fee, then bigger heads have been turned, haven't they?
I think the team that if football is a short career, players' opinions change. So how can you have a go at him? I wouldn't have a go at him because you could feel one thing one year.
Listen to me.
That's different.
Sarib, you can still be upset the fact that he's left for free.
Of course, I don't think he deserves abuse for it. Is what I was saying.
No player deserves abuse.
I'm not saying give him go around giving abuse. But listen to me. Look, I'm not saying go and flipping start swearing at him. But end of the day, from a Liverpool person, I get why people are going to be really, really pissed off with him and start calling him names, because end of the day, this is a Liverpool player. He's a local lad who's bought up for Liverpool. He's been at the football club since 8 years old. We did make who Trent Alexander-Arnold is today, so he does owe us something. This is why my biggest issue with him is that he could have left, because he's such a generational talent that if he wanted to, he could have left in a nicer way, in a sense of, you know what, I owe Liverpool Football Club something. You know what, let me at least get them 50-60 million quid. You know what, he took a fee and we can all move forward. And you know what, we would have accepted that if he turned around today and said, you know what, I'm signing a contract for 1 year, in a year's time, as a gentleman's agreement, like other players have done in the past. I had an agreement with Liverpool, more or less in a bit of an agreement, saying, you know what, we'll give you 1 more year. Next year, you can go. We'll both shake hands. Liverpool fans would be happy with that, and they'd be okay with it. Because, and Slot would be okay with it. Playing it out like this, I'm not a fan of him, mate. End of the day, he should have got us, at least got Liverpool a fee.
Guess we'll see if he signs on it then, innit?
Cello, let's see. What do we need to talk about? Robbo, there's been a few comments about Robertson. What did you make of his performance? It kind of become customary now, with all due respect, Sarib, that for the first 5-10 minutes, we're waiting for the Robertson mistake. Let's be honest. And today, again, it could have cost us. He grew into the game, let's be honest. But there was another telling moment, I think, around about 20 or 30 minutes, when Mohamed Kudus had the ball and he didn't get out to him. And I was screaming.
I went flip mode on the group.
I was screaming. I think Gakpo was next to him. So he didn't need to back off. If you're alone and you're covering, you're asking for support, sometimes you just need to back off and let your teammates to recover. But Gakpo was on the inside on his left foot. So he could have engaged, not even engaged, just cut the cross out. But on Virgil, I think then straight after Gomez went down, and you could see still Virgil van Dijk after 2-3 minutes was still going at Robertson. They were actually talking to each other, and I'm 100% sure that Virgil van Dijk was absolutely peed off that we didn't get out to Kudus, who was a threat all game. Let's be honest. But what did you make of his performance? A lot of fans are still thinking we should be replacing him. I'm of the opinion, with all due respect, legend, brilliant lad, he should stick around in the squad, but we have to upgrade in that area, Sarib.
I think that becomes apparent every single week. And I think he did an interview, because I was watching the Sky coverage, and obviously you lot watched the game too on the same channel, I'm assuming. And he said it, I'm in a decent run of form at the moment. And I was thinking, I think I've been watching a different sport then. Because he has made errors in the last couple of weeks, especially the last month. Maybe not the last 2 weeks or so. I think maybe that's what he's talking about. But again, he still has that mistake in him. And we saw in the first 10, 11 minutes of the match where Van Dijk makes a pass to him and he's just too bad on the ball. You might have slipped or whatever. But again, West Ham were in and they were unlucky not to score that. But like you said, the first 10, 11 minutes, Robbo, he tends to do this quite often, whether it's 60th, 70th minute, but generally the first couple of minutes. I think the Arsenal game was around a similar time. Obviously, Bukayo Saka is a far better player than what West Ham have up front, and obviously he's going to be a lot more clinical in that position. But Andy Robertson I think it helps him that he's in a great team, and it helps him a lot that he plays with the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Gravenberch and Mac Allister that are so comfortable on the ball, because I don't think he is. And I think he's very, very limited in his ability, because he's very, very one-footed as well. And I don't think he can go on the outside and the inside as well. The outside very, very well. But Kostas Tsimikas, as much as I think he has his problems too, he's much more comfortable with both feet. And I think he can go on the inside, he can go on the outside. Against Leicester, I remember when we had a corner, Tsimikas was on the right-hand side, and I think the corner got played. It was short or got played away, and Tsimikas was able to just turn and play the ball with his right foot, when Robbo would have just, I don't know what, his body angle would have been completely wrong and tried to get onto his left. Now, I'm not having a go at Robertson, because that has worked for us for many, many years. But at this level now, his age, the intensity he's played, that you can see that those deficiencies are becoming more and more apparent. And today was different. I think, he grew into the game. But again, moments in the match can cost you. And that opening 11 minutes was another one of those moments, heart and mouth moments, where you think, he's done it again, Robertson.
Gene?
Asim, Robbo, look, a great servant to the football club. I've spoke about him on many occasions previously. I need a replacement for Robbo ASAP. We need somebody in January because this guy's going to cost us. And
If you had
I saw
one,
a comment.
Cost us.
Yeah.
so comment what gone.
Cost us.
I saw a comment earlier that you know what, he's going to cost us in the latter rounds of the Champions League. I can see that happening, Asim. I can really see that happening where he's going to cost us in the latter round of the Champions League when you're up against different type of opposition, better opposition who ain't going to give you. If you make a mistake, they're going to punish you. And we simply can't take that chance. But to be fair, I like Costas. I think every time Costas has played recently, he's played really well. So why don't we just play with Costas? Why don't we start Costas now in that position where had to play a few games and he's done well when he's played?
Because I think it's pros and cons as well, Gene. That he likes Costas' ability on the ball, the way he manipulates the ball. Sarib mentioned he's really comfortable on the inside, even with his right foot. Well, a lot more than Robertson. But I don't think he fancies him. His recovery speed and recovery ability, and 2, his 1v1 ability when he needs to go in wide areas. I think Robertson is still slightly better at him in theory. I know he's not proving it at the moment, but I don't think he fancies him. But what Robertson is not doing at the moment is on the big day, generally speaking. I think he had a good game against Bailey, against Aston Villa at home.
Yeah.
But Madueke and Saka and then Kudus again today, you know, for those big guys, big wingers these sort of players will give any left back, trouble. But the way Robertson is playing at the moment, I feel there's a lack of intensity, and that's one thing that Robertson had. But hopefully now Tsimikas is back, we can alternate them, and hopefully, the Robertson that we saw against Aston Villa is the one that we can see on a regular basis because we've got Tsimikas fit. I don't think they'll upgrade in that area in January, even though as much we want it. But I think we can get through to the summer if both stay fit, because I think you'll see better performances from Robertson if he's playing 1 game a week, not 2 or 3, because I think he just doesn't have the legs anymore.
If he was in a title race, I think we need a left back, but it's because we're a couple of points ahead in the league as well. I think we're and Rodri and Saka out for Arsenal and Man City. I think it allows us to kind of get away with it. I think if we was in a title race between Arsenal and City, we would have needed to sign a left back in January. I still think we need to do, but like you said, I think we can get away with it now, not because we don't need one, because other teams around us are not as good as us, is what I mean. But that, I think, in hindsight, might cost us later down in the season if we're playing a Champions League final or we're playing a semi-final, the bigger games, because, like you said, he struggles against better opposition. Saka, Madueke, Mohamed Kudus today, Tyler Dibbling causing him a problem. And these are all physical wingers. And you look at the likes of, he comes up against Kylian Mbappe, for example, he's going to struggle, Robbo. And we saw against Real Madrid, he gave a penalty away against Real Madrid. I don't know. I think he made the challenge on Fede Valverde. Someone can correct me on that, but I think it was Fede Valverde, top of my head.
Could be Valverde or the right back that came on. What's his name?
Vasquez.
Yeah.
Oh, Vasquez. But yeah, we need an upgrade. And I have said this for 2 years, 3 almost, that we need an upgrade on Robbo.
Sarib, we were talking about this. Now that you know Gomez is out and Liverpool only signed 1 player in January, who would it be?
Centre back.
Give me a name.
Jero Hato can play left back as well. Hincapié as well, but I think Jero Hato would.
How much would he cost? How much would Hato cost?
Dutch league.
Does he have a buyout clause? We can bring Schumacher back.
Was Heitinga? I'm pretty sure Heitinga was managing Ajax for a bit as well. I think that relationship could be important as well.
Yeah, he might be at West Brom soon. You never know.
Yeah, but look, there's a lot of people are saying Jero Hato. I think Arsenal.
40 million according to Sleepy.
I think that's a decent deal. I think he's only 18, 19 years old. I think the Dutch league, they won't overtax.
40 million in January.
Not too shabby. We got Gakpo for about the same, and he was the top player in that league. We got Cody Gakpo for that price, and he was the top player in that league. So why can't we do the thing with Jero Hato? And Ajax are not even top of their league at the moment. It's PSV Eindhoven. So I think it's PSV Eindhoven. Last time I checked. Have a look.
Gene,
yeah, it's PSV Eindhoven.
You seen much of Hato?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know have a clue who he is, mate.
Watch him. I think he's a really good player. You like him?
I've not seen him play. Wait.
Bloody
Jordan Henderson. I forgot
Nathan
Jordan
says,
Henderson as well.
Abdul, this guy sounds like a UFC star. Abdul Qadir. Have you seen him play? Oh, Billy knows him. Billy knows him.
Not Billy, by the way. If I ask the Billy, I know he's Billy Talks Football on TikTok. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the show. He's really, really good guy. Very, really. He's a big support of our channel. He's got quite a few followers on TikTok as well.
Okay. Anything else we want to cover? United next week.
Cody Gakpo.
Cody Gakpo. Fire away, Sarib. What do you want to talk about? I thought he was brilliant. I think that intensity is there, that goal threat is there, that hunger is still there, but it's always going to be there, especially when you're, banging on the goals. You start seeing stats now with Cody Gakpo, just not the stats that and graphics that you've seen, the Mohamed Salah graphics, but no one's on Mo's level. But I'm really happy with this three. Honestly, we got goal threat, we got intensity, and there was about 10 minutes into the game where you saw Cody Gakpo tracking back at left back.
Yeah.
So, and I like to see that. I really like to see that.
Arne
Slot has to be given a lot of credit for bringing that sort of attitude towards him. But nothing happens if the player himself is, has got the appetite to actually bring on that device and bring on those instructions. And at the moment, what he's showing on and off the ball, you have to say, he's been nothing short of brilliant, Sarib, at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was a big advocate for this, and everybody knows this on the channel as well, and the comments who've been watching for a while, that I've always said Cody Gakpo's best position is as a left winger. And obviously, systematic problems. I think you put a thread out, Asim, saying you don't think Salah and Gakpo works in the Klopp setup, but it does work in the Arne Slot setup for various different reasons. And obviously Gakpo's his game state was a bit different. He wasn't tracking, he wasn't doing that, which is why Diaz was playing a lot more on the left. But it's crazy to see, because Gakpo, Diaz, Salah was a front three Klopp played a lot as well, but just in different positions. He played Gakpo a lot more centrally than Luis Diaz. But like I always said, I think Gakpo always offered a goal threat from the left-hand side. You could say it's the Dutch league, but I think his best work for Netherlands was coming off the left-hand side, scored a few goals at the World Cup as well, and at the European Championships, scored a lot of goals at PSV Eindhoven from that left-hand side position. And every time he played in that position under Klopp as well, I thought he was very, very impressive. And like I said, when you play a player in the position they want to play in, generally speaking, they're going to deliver you performance, especially a player of that quality. And that's what I really wanted with Cody Gakpo. And you can't deny that he's very, very intelligent forward. His movement is very, very good. He knows where to be. Like, you look at most of his goals, Gene and Asim, you say they're tap-ins, but I say he's got himself in that position. He knows where the ball's going to drop. I'm
having a laugh with you, man, when I say that.
No, but yeah, that is a customary for Gakpo. Even when he first,
I give him credit. He loves the post run. He does look. I give Gakpo, or I give Olaf. To be honest with you, I give most of our forwards a lot of credit this season, because I think most of them, bar Darwin, I think have shown why they're here and how good they get. But Diaz and Gakpo for me have been two players who I went to town on, thinking that, guys, you're going to have to give me a second.
Even in Asim, forget about the goals. He's even contributing. Like, you look at the pass he made for Salah in the first 10 minutes of the game. He cuts inside, a brilliant pass, and you could say Salah should have scored that. Then obviously Salah puts it on for Diaz, and then Salah puts on for Gakpo. The Gakpo misses the header. But look, I think their connection is so impressive. And there was a long list. I see if you can find it. I think Salah's assist, Gakpo's third in the list. I think he's behind Mane and Salah, Mane and Firmino. Gakpo's third. It's very, very telling. So that combination, Gakpo and Salah, is something that's been something really, really good for Liverpool. I think you can see it. The goal against Leicester. Wow. He cut inside. I knew he was going in. I promised to God. I was like, this guy's gonna score it. He put it in the top corner. I was like, wow. But yeah, I don't like saying it, but he is unbelievable, and we look a far more controlled team when he's playing.
Yeah,
far better, I think.
And the thing is, we haven't missed Jota's.
No.
I know any team is going to miss Jota as a player, generally speaking, but because the output of Gakpo, I know, inshallah, we don't see Mohamed Salah's slump or decline, even though it's probably expected, even by a small margin. But the seasons that we previously seen where he hasn't been scoring and he has had a barren run, but then you need players to just come up and take the responsibility. Yeah. And even when Salah has been scoring, and I don't One of the things that I like about Gakpo, he's not shy to shoot.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of players, I'm telling you, because you see a massive order, a massive personality, a massive player, a massive global star, one of the best players for me to ever grace the Premier League. A lot of players would just say, give him the ball, give him the ball. But you don't want to be, you want to express yourself as well. But if you've got that confidence in your own ability, it helps the team. A lot of players are too shy, and you've seen it in the past where they only really express themselves when that player isn't there. But the thing that I like about Cody Gakpo is he's not showing any shyness. He trusts his own ability, and we've talked about his goal scoring, ball striking ability. And when you've got a team like Liverpool are in total control, then he's in areas that he could really hurt the opposition. And long may it continue, man. And he's proving me wrong, and I don't give a crap because Liverpool are playing better. Liverpool are winning games, and we're all happy. You wanted to say something, Sarib?
Yeah, I just think we have a nice balance of forwards now. I think one thing is very, very telling. I think we need to speak about him before we go is Darwin Nunez. He didn't even come on today, Asim. He didn't even come on. Now we've got Jota back. Chiesa will come back. Diaz, Salah. We need to speak about Chiesa as well.
Let's talk about Nunez and Chiesa.
It doesn't look promising for Darwin Nunez. I'll be so honest with you.
Okay. I think you're right in terms of options. Now Jota is fit. Yeah. He goes down the pecking order, doesn't he? Automatically. But look, I honestly, with all due respect, I don't give a crap. I want Liverpool players are performing at the levels that they should, and they can, and they're proving at the moment. And Jota is a better player than Nunez. He's a better finisher than Nunez. And if he's on the bench, scoring goals from the bench and starting games as well, like we'll see in the next couple of weeks, that is what's the most important thing is for Liverpool. And if it means pissing off Darwin Nunez, what I want Darwin Nunez is to show an appetite in training to get some game time. And if he gets some game time with Accrington Stanley and can get 2-3 goals, give the manager a headache, then so be it. Liverpool are gonna benefit. But if he's gonna sulk, then we know that this manager is ruthless. He's ruthless, and he'll be shown the door. Simple as. So Chiesa.
Chiesa, look, if Chiesa, look, Asim, I know he's going to need some time. I'm not too fussed. He's going to need a few weeks. As long as the four that are playing right now, well, the 3 stars and Jota, they're fighting. I'm not too fussed about Chiesa. His time will come. But in regards to Darwin Nunez, Asim, if I'm honest with you, if we got a £40 million euro bid in January from AC Milan, I'd just cut our losses and say, take care, mate, good luck, and hope everything works out for you. It's time to move on. Sometimes you got to be ruthless. He doesn't fit our system. He didn't fit our system before. He doesn't fit it now. He doesn't offer us anything. Every time I've seen him come onto the pitch, he doesn't offer us anything. That was my biggest thing at the start. When he played, okay, he wasn't scoring goals, but I was okay with it, thinking, you know what? At least I'm seeing bits here and there. I think make me think, okay, fair play. Now, especially over the last month, I don't even see that. I don't even see what he brings it. Nothing to the table.
There was the camera went over him, Gina. I actually felt sorry for him a bit. He was just staring. Did you see that?
I missed it.
You missed it.
Was he sitting on the bench behind Slot?
Yeah. There was no reaction at all, and that's what I actually thought about him. When you talk about Jota, I actually thought, you know what, he's got a big headache on his hands. But let's see what he's made of.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm concerned about Chiesa though. I'm a bit concerned. Like, how is this guy having a preseason for 7 months? It doesn't make sense. The only way to build match fitness is Slot keeps saying this. Look, and I'll pull up the comments because you said pull up the comments after.
Please.
Let me pull up the comments. For you. So Arne Slot said, and I quote, by the way, thank you, Josh. We are working on match fitness, and whenever we can bring him with the team, we thought it would be better for him to have some extra training sessions instead of joining us. But my argument is, how can you build match fitness if you don't play matches? You don't build match fitness in training. A player can be elite in training, but you're never going to build 90 minutes you're never going to get that 90 minutes if we don't play games, whether it's 30, whether it's 60, whether it's 40, whether it's 20. You're not going to be able to get fit if we don't play matches.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
injured. So where is he? Where is Federico?
Doing extra training sessions.
For what though? He's fit though. Why does he need extra training sessions? He's saying
Federico Chiesa will come good. Just relax.
He needs match fitness. No, I'm not saying.
Well, are you not concerned, Sheen,
Of course.
that we practically gave him a new preseason within the season?
Look, Asim. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I'm slightly concerned right now, especially with Chiesa. I thought now I was I'm not gonna lie. Okay till Jan was this time to say, okay, you've got 3 or 4 months. You've come and you didn't have a preseason. You got 3 or 4 months. Yes, he's had a few of his niggles where he's been injured again. And from January, I thought, okay, this was his time to really kick on. Right, January is practically here now. He needs to actually kick on. He needs to get some games.
Brilliant.
And needs
This is brilliant. 7-inch destroyer with a cracking superstar. 10 years to fine order as a thank you.
The thing is, Asim, you know that little cameo that he came on that day. Yeah, I saw quality in that cameo, man. Right, and that sort of sold me thinking that, you know what, he might come through. He might come through. So look, let's just he cost us 12 million quid. Just chill out, man. If we didn't have, if we didn't have the other players right now, yes, you could be shouting and swearing at him. Right now, the other funds.
What I would say is we've got the luxury at the moment is to give him a bit of time.
Do you think there's any truth in this then?
No, load of bullshit.
1 week he's
open. What?
Well, Chiesa and Napoli are open for a move for Federico Chiesa, and I think Josh put out to an Anfield sector about this as well.
If we let him go, then I think we only let him go is we bring someone like Ryan Cherki in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think that is the only way Liverpool, because they're not going to, they like the idea of 6 attackers. And from judging by, again, we've been talking about Harvey Elliott is not a winger, he's more of a midfielder. Slot's comments were the same again last week, and during which game was it? When Harvey Elliott started Southampton away, I think, in the cup. When he changed in game, he changed his position from right wing to right midfield, and then mentioned how a lot comfortable he was in midfield. So look, again, Ryan Cherki is not a Mohamed Salah type of winger. He's a player who's going to come on the inside, but he's comfortable coming from those areas, and it gives us an option. Whether Liverpool do it, I don't know. Whether these links are reliable, I don't know. Man. But we do like a January deal. We do, but I think Chiesa will be given an opportunity. Maybe the next week or two. Again, Accrington Stanley is a good opportunity for him to start. I think he needs to target that game and get 90 minutes under his belt. And if he isn't, then look, this Liverpool team, Sarib, is playing so well. It can maybe carry a 5th or 6th attacker at the moment. But at the very least, if it's this same situation, because I don't think it's going to affect us winning the league, the Chiesa situation, even though as concerning it is. But I think if we're in the same situation in the summer, then we have to make a call on it.
I think I have to agree with you there. And you know what? I was going to say something. You know, when you said minutes against Accrington Stanley, you know, normally people use that team to take the piss out of a player. Oh, his level is Accrington Stanley. It's so funny because we're actually playing them. That's why in my head I can't process that, because when I say, oh, he's good enough to play for Accrington Stanley, get to Accrington Stanley, it's used more as a slander than a club. But Gene, you have anything to say before? I know you're dying.
No, I'm good.
Asim, any last words from you? You're the wise one, Substack, mister.
No. Go follow the boys, smash a like. If you're watching the show later, let us know what you think. There was plenty of controversial points to discuss and take part. So let us know. We're not going to talk about our schedule. We never talk about our schedule. When we do, we know what happens. So Tika, let's go. Are you going to give us a bit of a Shakespearean line today to end the show, Sarib?
I actually don't have one, to be fair.
Shall I give you one?
Go on, you go for it today. I'll let you have one.
What shall I say? There were 2 Mohammeds on the pitch today, but kudos to the king in red. Good night. I'm not gonna lie, I had that